Well, first he claimed President Trump was not a legitimate president, and then he boycotted the inauguration. Now House Democrat John Lewis says he's skipping the opening of the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum because President Trump is attending that opening, saying in a joint statement with Mississippi Democrat Benny Thompson, quote, President Trump's attendance and his hurtful policies are an insult to the people portrayed in this Civil Rights Museum. The struggles represented in this museum exemplify the truth of what really happened in Mississippi. Here with reaction, former NYPD lieutenant and Army veteran, Dr. Darren Porcher. Doctor, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
They gave a segment to a couple of Army guys. That was a bad thing to do.
Two ex-Army officers.
That's right, that's right.
It couldn't be better.
There we go. Well, John Lewis, an icon of the Civil Rights era. This is an important moment, opening a museum. But is it the right place to boycott because the President of the United States will be there as well?
I strongly disagree with his actions. I'm a strong proponent for race relationships, and when we look at what the congressman has done in connection with Trump, this really sets us back. This should be a harbinger for greater race relationships moving forward. There's been an acrimonious relationship between Trump and his congressman. However, we need to put this aside, and we need to coalesce together as races and as parties, Democrats and Republicans, move forward and set this as a watershed moment in how racial relations could be better.
Absolutely. I mean, there are very few moments where people who disagree ideologically can still come together and celebrate something like this. This museum opening strikes me as a perfect example of that. Is this a political thing? Is this very personal for John Lewis? Where does this animus come from?
Absolutely political. Imagine if Trump didn't go to this. What would people say if Trump didn't show up? Oh, he's a racist, he's this, that, and the other thing. But you have to take in consideration, Donald Trump has done some really good things for the African-American community. You look at a 3% increase in GDP, et cetera. There's been crime reduction nationally. Therefore, this is a strong platform for the congressman to coalesce behind Trump and move forward and say, hey, look, you know what? We're coming together as a unit, and this is necessary. We want to patronize the opening of this museum, and I think that it's a great thing to do, but the congressman, unfortunately, is going to be left on the shelf.
It's a great point. Joblessness has dropped significantly in the black community under this president. Some policies really making a difference. I want to bring you to another topic, the NFL. Roger Goodell just signed a $200 million contract. $40 million a year, not too bad. While still 25 players around the league took a knee last weekend. How does it make you feel, as a veteran yourself, to see this kind of reward to someone who hasn't been able to address something as basic as standing for our nation's anthem?
Well, you know as well as I do, you lead from the front. That's the military's concept. You lead from the front. Here we have Roger Goodell, he's leading from the rear. There's been precipitous drops in ratings, and it really begs the question of what is he doing as a leader to mend the fences here, so to speak. One thing I think he should do is take a page out of the NBA's playbook. Adam Silver made this as a requirement for players to stand for the anthem, as opposed to Roger Goodell. Unfortunately, he withered under the pressure of the players, and I think that it's a travesty in the wake of the NFL trying to do better things for the community.
You raise a great point about ratings. They're down significantly this year from 2015 and 2016.
And I'm a Cowboys fan, too.
Yeah. I'm sorry for that. I'm a Vikings fan. We're 10-2, so I just want to remind you that. But I'll say we're in the rating business as well. If our ratings were down significantly, you wouldn't be signing a big, shiny new contract.
Absolutely. You're out the door.
Leading from the front is right. Darren Porcher, thanks a lot.
As always, a pleasure, Pete.
Always.